financial garbage that goes on out there.
The Del Walmsley Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Everything you need to know about finance and real estate. For more information, mypassiveincomesystem.com. mypassiveincomesystem.com.
Stay up late. Alex Jones, After Dark. Stay up late. Alex Jones, After Dark. Nights, 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. On Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. The home of the Alex Jones Show.
I'm Jim Kay, host of Bring On Success at 50 Plus. This week, I talk about different products and activities you can use to help improve the quality of your sleep. Want to live your dream? It all starts with a great night's sleep.
Heard every Saturday, 1 p.m., right here on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
Welcome to the Reality Check. Ben Sherman here with you every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. So the big news this week, of course, was the Texas shooting. Now you have, of course, somebody who attacked his own ex-wife, wife at the time, attacked his own child, kicked out of the military, should have been in jail for pretty much 5 years and got out early. Somebody who was supposed to be on the anti-gun purchase list, but yet, through a mistake through our Air Force, able to buy. Could we do things like reopen mental hospitals, ones that were closed down by the Jerry Brown's father, Edmund Brown, back in California? Can we take people off antidepressants? You know, we'll never see this guy's true medical history, but a lot of times you'll see a lot of these killers, mass murderers, antidepressants are like the biggest thing you see from them. A lot of them are on drugs. Some are legal, some are illegal drugs. But the antidepressants, I mean, just amazing what effect they have on people. People that are normal at one time and years of taking them, especially when they push them on kids at a younger age, a lot of times it just doesn't go well. Then there was, the suicide rates, the homicide rates on these kids are just, or adults when they're taking these drugs. It's just not, you're tinkering with your body's DNA almost. It's just not good for people. He had Stephen Williford, a hero who saved lives, an amazing shot. He shot this guy, and that probably ended up leading to supposedly this guy called his dad, and he knew he wasn't going to live much longer, so he ended up shooting himself, probably, is what police reports will find out. But Stephen Williford, what a hero. This guy gets out, no shoes on, grabs his gun, and goes right after this guy. And it's a piece of junk. As a gun debate, you can say that the gun law should be more or less this and that. But the one thing is guys like Stephen Williford, that's a guy that saves you. The police mainly are just historians that write down the facts of what happened. It's sad but true. If you expect a cop to be there within 2 minutes, it's almost impossible for them to just jump in the situation. They can be brave and a hero as much as they want. It's a rough time. So, the gun laws. I mean, I have no problem with limiting who can own guns. I mean, obviously, if you're not stable enough and you have to take drugs that alter your mind, then definitely you shouldn't own a gun. Obviously, if you're convicted of violent crimes, you shouldn't own a gun. But before we even think about the new laws, we really have to think about the laws we have in place. We're not even enforcing them. It's just like immigration. We have laws to put a stop to it. We don't enforce it. And then we wonder why we have a problem, why there are kids here that have grown up here for over a decade. And just like the gun laws, everyone wonders, how did this guy get a gun? Oh, was it the gun show? Was it this? Was it that? At the end of the day, what happened? It was an error by the Air Force. So now probably near 30 people are dead because of it. We have to remember we had terrorism in Texas. We had last week in New York. We had last month in Las Vegas. It's not a religion or no religion. It's really extremism. Extremism on anything will hurt you, not only hurt you, but hurt more than just yourself. And like Golda Meir said, peace will come when the Arabs love their children more than they hate us. And today's words, you'll live happier if you love more than there's hate in your heart all the time, then you really can't live a functional life because you're too busy with anger and energy towards somebody else. Energy that could be to yourself, making your life better. Other things that happen, on a minor scale, nothing is, as bad as what happened in Texas this week, but Rand Paul got attacked while he was mowing his lawn, and he got attacked. If we want to tone down the violence, maybe the Democrats could give us a break this week, because it seems like a lot of them are in the news attacking people. And, of course, the lawyer of this guy, Dr. Renee, came out right away. And what was it? Oh, it's not political. So he attacked somebody mowing their grass. Sad but true. I was reading the other day, CNN plans to offer subscriptions to their news. I mean, I don't know, you're going to pay for a comedy subscription? I guess so. But they think it's going to be a great investment. They expect to pull in, around $400 million when they start charging people for their comedy show, because it's not really news. But what's more important is one thing that takes up a lot of my time. Like when I read articles, it's not the article itself. I mean, yeah, you learn stuff, but it's reading the comments. They're just usually pretty funny. People battling, but just people saying, yeah, I wouldn't pay for this. Do I really want to pay for CNN? Said nobody ever. Just some of the comments. Just CNN wants to spread their agenda, and can't read the rest of that one. Stuff like that, I actually spend more time on the comments than the actual articles of it all. It's amazing just seeing the comments. It just cracks me up. Some of the facts from last week near the end of the show that we went over about food stamps and warrants for arrest. I kind of did some research on them, like I promised, and we can see that so about 1/3 of our food stamps are given out to illegals. The number reported was 43, so 10 off on that. Maybe it's modern times and stuff, and obviously it's hard to get accurate numbers. About 90% of warrants issued for murder in Los Angeles are illegals. That's a rough number. So about 8% of illegals pick crops, and 49% are on the welfare program, some welfare program. Now, it's not just food stamps, other programs. I was reading, too, in California, it was a crazy amount. 50% of births in California are actually part of the Medi-Cal program. So that means the government pays for 50% of the births in California. 35% of that was illegals. But I mean, just a crazy number. Half of the births in the state of California. When you think of California, you think of rich people, people by the beach, people in the sun, the high taxes, the high gas. And it's crazy to think half of the births in the state of California are actually paid for by the government. About 20% of students in California are actually illegal, which it turns in line with 1 in 4 babies that are born in California are actually illegal. About 60% of the most wanted criminals in Los Angeles area are illegal. 21% of gang members. It's a crazy amount of gang members, like just in general, that they have in California. And how many gangs there are? There's literally over 1,200 gangs in the United States. And we have to pay for all this stuff. What a burden on our society. From gang members homegrown, we have enough. We have enough of our own homegrown problems. We, You know, we just have to do better for our kids. We have Elizabeth Warren, who lives in the $5.4 million home. She claims she was a Native American. It helped her get into school. She teaches one class in Harvard and gets paid $350,000. But she likes to tell you she's one of us. She lectures that the U.S. system is rigged on behalf of the rich, which she's one of them. And she talks about the rigged system while she watched Hillary Clinton rig a primary. And she said nothing until after the fact. Donna Brazile, she said that Bernie Sanders needed to stop saying his nomination was stolen, as she gave Hillary questions in advance. Now, saying the DNC and the Clintons stole everything. What a story change. What a year makes. What a change. My name is Ben Shanneman. You're listening to the Reality Check. When we return, we're going to talk about the Las Vegas shooting, of course. New details, some old details.
How would you like to cruise to an exotic destination like Alaska, Europe, or Hawaii? Then you need to call Don Plunky at Cruise Planners. Now is the perfect time to be planning your spring and summer vacation. Book a cruise and receive an additional $50 shipboard credit when you mention KFNX.
I'm Dawn Plunky for Cruise Planners in Phoenix. We have great prices with all the extras. Call 602-687-7652. We'll plan your vacation as if it's our own. Call today, 602-687-7652.
Whether refinancing, getting a new mortgage, or pre-qualifying, Scout Mortgage is for you. Scout Mortgage was founded on the ideals of friendly service and easy-to-understand terms. Give Mike Thomas a call. He will make your loan process easy and comprehensible. Scout Mortgage offers low rates, low fees, fast closing, and is locally owned. Give Mike a call at 480-850-6205. That's 480-850-6205. NMLS 56553.
Hi, everyone. Solar Sandy here. APS customers, listen up. Your bills just went up as of August 19th. Do you know if you do nothing now, your bills will be even higher next summer? Call me today for your energy evaluation to PYOP. Produce your own power and pay less for it. No more fees, taxes, or extra charges from the electric companies. Call today, 623-850-8229. That's 623-850-8229. Or go to my website, asksolarsandy.com. Hi, everyone. Solar Sandy here. APS customers, listen up. Your bills just went up as of August 19th. Do you know if you do nothing now, your bills will be even higher next summer? Call me today for your energy evaluation to PYOP. Produce your own power and pay less for it. No more fees, taxes, or extra charges from the electric companies. Call today, 623-850-8229. That's 623-850-8229. Or go to my website, asksolarsandy.com.
Veterans face treacherous situations filled with peril while serving our country. Many veterans come home physically injured, suffering with PTSD, have traumatic brain injuries or other ailments. Treatment is available, but we need your help. Help Heal Veterans, with the support of generous citizens like you, improves veterans' lives on a daily basis across the United States. For over 45 years, Help Heal Veterans has provided over 30 million therapeutic art kits and craft projects to these critically injured veterans at no charge to them. Doctors, therapists, and brain injury experts recommend this type of therapy. Since the beginning of World War I, over 100 years ago, art and craft therapy has proven to improve gross motor skills, improve memory, and lessen anger issues in healing veterans. To volunteer or learn more, visit healvets.org. Help a veteran. Visit healvets.org.
You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to outer space. Please stand by.
Welcome back to the Reality Check. Your host, Ben Shennerman, here with you every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. If you just joined us last segment, we talked about the Texas shooting. We talked about gun laws. Tonight, obviously, there were some elections. To me, nothing major. You know, Virginia, I mean, that was a state that Trump lost. You knew that that would go Democrat way. Nothing surprising. I know they're trying to make it like something surprising. Did anybody think anybody related to Chris Christie, or if you ever shook Chris Christie's hand ever in your lifetime, was going to get elected in New Jersey? I mean, one, it was almost a miracle that a Republican got elected in New Jersey in the first place. But after what Chris Christie did was nothing good. Nobody that ever knew him or shook his hand or even talked to him and said hello would ever get elected this time. So nothing surprising. The one that I knew deep down inside, not a shocker, but Bill de Blasio. Really, New York? Really? Bill de Blasio? I mean, I just want to say, if you're a police officer in New York and you voted for Bill de Blasio, you should just quit. Find another job. Because he showed he didn't respect it. That's the only, I couldn't understand if anybody who works in law enforcement, anybody who likes a decent economy, and anybody who doesn't want bums off the street. I mean, the difference between when Giuliani was there and took bums off the street to the violence that's there today, amazing. I mean, it's back. Like, he brought it back. He brought the bums back. He's bringing them back. It's kind of like when Dinkins was the mayor in New York. You know? I don't know. But you get to choose what you want, so you have to live with it. So the Las Vegas shooting. I know a lot of people don't like hearing about this stuff, but it's over a month now. Still falling out of the news cycle. We almost hear nothing. All we heard is this BS story about how this guy lost his wealth, and that's the story they're trying to push. So again, why did the Las Vegas cop fire his weapon if they thought he was dead? Why did it take a month to find out there was a different bullet in the room from a police officer? Easy ballistics test, they find that out pretty quickly. Are we still to believe that the Mandalay Bay only had cameras on the floor facing the elevators? There were no cameras pointing at the suite, the door, the room, in the hallway, on a two-suite luxury area. Am I to believe that the Mandalay Bay is pretty much cameraless? I'm not buying it. Sorry. So, all right. Back to this guy's loss of wealth. You know, Paddock was so angry that he waited 2 years because they said this big loss of wealth he had was 2015. So now it's 2017. The guy was so angry he did nothing for 2 years. He was so angry at the casinos because he lost all this wealth that he decided to shoot concert goers. Now, you'd think he's already in a casino. If he was so angry at the casino, whether it was the machines, the casino pit bosses, or whatever that was, they're saying that's how he lost the wealth and why he's angry. Why wouldn't he attack the casino itself? It's just kind of weird to me. So we're to believe this guy lost so much wealth that he still had multiple properties. He still owned the plane. He had enough money to buy 50 weapons with ammo for, years. None of the cheap stuff. He just sent his girlfriend over $100,000 in cash because he's lost so much wealth. You know, gamblers that are, and I know some gamblers, I know a bunch of gamblers, but I know people that are in that deep. When they're in that deep and they've lost wealth, they don't stop. They just keep on going. If they're that deep in it, they keep on going. And they wouldn't give money to a girlfriend. They wouldn't give $100,000. They're trying to take money from people. When you're a gambler and you're in that deep, you're taking, you're not giving. So here's the kind-hearted guy who's so angry they lost so much wealth, even though he had so much wealth. I mean, they always think till the last dollar's gone that they're going to find a way to win it back. You know, and then if he's at the point where he's snapping, it would be at that time, not a planned thing. And why did he rent fancy hotels all around America looking at potential targets that weren't casinos if it was just a casino thing? You know, there were no casinos by some of those hotels he looked at, like in Chicago and stuff. It doesn't add up. So another thing, like, that I got to do some more research on, Paddock and his brother, they were in a poor family. They were very poor. So in the early 20s, Stephen bought a home, like right by the UCLA campus. He bought an actual apartment complex that was over $400,000 in the 80s. So how did a guy that's poor in his late 20s afford a whole apartment complex over $400,000? And his brother, who was poor, and you could tell not that intellectually sharp from just watching some of his interviews, a brother who was 26, who didn't even have the work history that Stephen had, how did he buy a $300,000 place at age 26? I don't know. It's just a fog of suspicion. So Stephen Paddock and his girlfriend, they traveled. They had finances that definitely had ties that were terror-related. So for them to be ruling out stuff, I'm not ruling in anything. I'm just saying, if you're going to rule out stuff, then you have to have checked it. So they knew that they definitely had financial ties to terrorist-related hotspots around the globe. The FBI placed Paddock. He had just traveled to Dubai in 2016. I mean, he had Philippines, other countries that he had strong ties to, money-wise and traveling-wise, that are known hotbeds. Have they checked those out yet? I mean, we can't even get camera footage from Las Vegas. Have they really checked out all those places? The DEA had Paddock wiring funds and receiving funds, that's what's strange. There's one thing if you're sending money somewhere, but he's receiving money from offshore banks, according to federal sources. Federal agents also know because his cell phone numbers surface during federal wiretaps. So they're doing federal wiretaps, and obviously we know what they're doing them for. Although, I mean, Obama opened it up where you can invade everybody's privacy on them. But they caught this guy in the federal taps, right? For what was he doing? I don't know. Your answer's as good as mine, but it's definitely fishy. You see the new FBI director, Wray, he admitted that the FBI is actually way worse than he thought the current state of the FBI should be. He actually said he was totally unimpressed. He had your buddy James Comey this week. One of his notes, his famous notes that everybody loves, broke down a bunch of crimes that Hillary Clinton committed. And what was the charge? Nothing. Can you imagine a regular citizen? And they said you did this and that. Oh, but we don't think you're going to get convicted. They would fry you. They would get every lawyer on you. Trust me. If you get a traffic ticket in court, they got the town attorney there right on you trying to prosecute you. But somehow, it's not the same when you're Hillary Clinton. What can we say to that? We can't say much. We have journalists were suspected of taking bribes to spread the Russian collusion story. Now, that's quite interesting. So, of course, any journalist that was caught doing this should immediately be fired. I mean, that's beyond a lack of integrity, you know. We have, of course, you have the anti-wall people. Now, that's fine if you don't want a wall on a border, but if that's the case, why do you build a wall around your house? We know about certain novelists who do that, but now the recent one, Kate, good old Kate Winslet, right? She's building a 500-foot wall around her home. Why? Why would you do that? I don't know. It's kind of strange, you know? This is a lot of strange things. This week we had the first sexually transmitted Zika case confirmed in Miami-Dade. Sponsored by one Barack Obama, right? Because he was a big Zika fan and didn't think that was any importance. Matter of fact, he wanted to bring more in. Thanks a lot, Barack. You know, as far as, you see, there was a Saudi prince that got arrested. That's a pretty amazing story. Can you imagine if they did that in America? That would be nice. It would be really nice if we had that type of justice. And I'd also like some Mexican voter ID laws if we can get them. My name's Ben Shannerman, host of The Reality Check. You're listening to us on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. When we return, we have to do our UFC 217 review.
Where the truth lives. Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Listen to Independent Talk 1100 KFNX streaming live at 1100kfnx.com.
Democrats have won the race for governor in heavily contested Virginia, where Lieutenant Governor Ralph Northam pulled down more than 53% of the votes. Correspondent Brianna Keeler says it started out as a neck-and-neck race.
There were a lot of nerves coming from Democrats backing Ralph Northam, and that was because they thought the social issues, Confederate monuments, might actually play in favor of Ed Gillespie, and in the end they feel like it didn't, that he would have benefited if he'd stuck to more of an economic message.
Meanwhile, in New Jersey, Democrat Phil Murphy captured the race there for governor. Well, we're learning more about the mental health of the Texas church shooter. Correspondent Ed Lavandera.
He was placed in a behavioral health center in El Paso, Texas, and according to sources, he escaped from that facility, and he'd been placed there because he had been, quote, suffering from mental disorders, as well as making death threats to his military chain of command.
On Wall Street, the Dow closed up 9 points. The Nasdaq lost 19. S&P lost 2. I'm Elliot Francis.
From the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center for tonight, partly cloudy skies, overnight low 61, sunny and 83 on your Wednesday. Tomorrow night dropping down to 61 with mostly clear skies. Sunny on Thursday and 85, sunny and 84 on Friday, and sunny on Saturday, and again hitting a high of 84. I'm Tim Livingston for KFNX.
Currently in downtown Phoenix, it's 76 degrees.
Next news in 30 minutes or when it breaks. Here on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX.
When Gerald Harris is not on the air, which is most of the time, the Great American Business Guru is always online.
Are you serious?
Totally. Get social and get answers. Follow us on Twitter at GABGBiz. Now say that back to me.
G.
Hey.
BG.
Close enough. That's GABGBIZ. And finding us on Facebook is just as easy at Great American Business Guru, or connect with Gerald Harris directly on LinkedIn.
Any questions?
Post them online and get answers with the Great American Business Guru.
Are you tired of politicians' lies and corporate greed? Does your family have health care? Can you support your family? Voice of Democracy Arizona is the program that fights for people's rights. We talk about issues that affect your family and your community. Listen to Voice of Democracy Arizona every Saturday at 7 a.m. on 1100 KFNX and be informed. Talk about public issues in Arizona and the USA, how politics affects you. Call the show at 602-277-KFNX.
Are you tired of dealing with chronic joint and back pain? Stem Cells of Arizona is the answer to your pain. We have had a 98% success rate managing and removing chronic pain. We are using stem cells that replace damaged, inflamed, and painful tissue with fresh, new, healthy tissue. Stem Cells of Arizona is located at 15425 North Greenway Hayden Loop, Suite A200. Call 480-247-8660. That's 480-247-8660 for your free consultation.
Hi, Rick and Dave here. The Elton Brothers on KFNX. Have you ever pulled in front of a listing, can't get a hold of anyone, and just wanted more info and photos? That's so annoying. Well, we have an app for you. Simply text Elton to 32323. It's completely free and downloads right to your mobile device. So any real estate sign across the valley. Text Elton to 32323 and get all the MLS info right to your phone. Immediately. The Elton Brothers, putting real estate in the palm of your hand.
Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. 1100 KFNX.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Tune in to get your questions answered.
Thank you, Dr. Marshall. Promote exquisite immune and cardiovascular support with Quantum Nutrition Lab's Quantum Garlic Complex, featuring bear garlic and allicin. Buy 2 bottles and get the third one free. Call 800-370-3447 or visit online at qnlabs.com.
You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to outer space. Please stand by.
Welcome back to the Reality Check. Your humble host, Ben Shannerman, here with you every Tuesday at 9 p.m. You're listening to Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. So if you just joined us, our last segment, of course, we talked about the Las Vegas shooting. We're still looking for the facts. We have to keep that in the news and keep fighting for the truth. Now, what did we, Phoenix, Mesa, Maricopa County, what did we do to America to deserve what we're getting now? We have degenerates like Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey that are coming here for rehab. I mean, seriously, do we need more degenerate sexual deviants in our town? I mean, I know Mayor Stanton might like that, but we don't like that. Please, go somewhere else, man. We didn't do anything to deserve these degenerates. Go back to Hollywood. Get your reform there. What's funny, one thing funny this week, Deion Sanders and Tony Romo going back and forth at each other. That was pretty funny because Romo was saying Deion don't know how to tackle, and Deion was just saying, Romo, you never won a ring, you know. He was just going on. It's pretty funny just hearing them. They're both pretty good at what they do. But I bring up Deion Sanders now because back in the day, they used to have that segment where they'd say, come on, man. And I got to say, we had a moment that in the first full day of deliberations on hopefully Senator Robert Menendez from New Jersey, a juror asked the judge, what is a senator? This is a juror on a judge ask, what is a senator? I'm sure the judge probably was just in shock and like, did you just ask me what a senator is? Like, how do you even end up on a jury? I mean, gosh, that's just embarrassing. I don't know. But, so, we have to move on to UFC 217. You know, we had really good fights. The prelims, the main card, everything was exciting. There were some awesome storylines in there. If you remember from our predictions from last week, Johnny Hendricks versus Paolo, we predicted Paolo's second-round knockout, and that's what it was, a second-round knockout. You know, I know Hendricks, the referee stoppage was questionable. Hendricks looked like he was defending himself. He's trying to grab for a leg. But I knew at the end of the day, he was going to get knocked out. This guy is just too big, too strong for him. You know, I mean, that's just it. Hendricks is on the downside of his career, and this guy's on the upside of his career. But usually that I hit a prediction right on the nail on the head. Not only the winner, the round, and how it happened, I knew I'm in for a rough night after that. So Stephen Wonderboy Thomas, I thought he'd have a second-round TKO over Jorge Masvidal. Not because Masvidal is not that good, but because I know Wonderboy needed something like that so he could get back in the title contention and maybe fight Tyrone Woodley. So Wonderboy won, unanimous decision. He was quicker. He was smarter, but he was kind of cautious. You know, he needed to go for that finish and not just win. You know, that's, like I said, the only way he was going to get a shot at Woodley would be a quick knockout. And I don't know. I mean, he's just fun to watch. Wonderboy, his style is so just amazing, and the way he kicks. Like, I would never have enough guts to do that just because, you know, if you miss on one of those, a guy grabs your leg, changes the whole fight. But it's amazing how he does that. I mean, just fun. Joanna Shevchenko, I thought she'd win by decision over Rose. And Rose won first round TKO. You know, Joanna had been getting better and better each fight. But the one thing, like when I was just watching some of the clips from before the fight and just when she came out, she just seems so cocky. I mean, to the point of with the gestures, it's not like I've ever seen her pointing. She was pointing at Champ, at her own mouth guard, and she was just pointing the day before at the weigh-ins. And I don't know, she just looked unprepared. Rose worked, and she didn't do anything surprising, but she did what she needed to do. And, you know, it's crazy because Joanna had beaten her before. But, you know, I could tell you one thing on the card 217 and UFC 217, it taught you the cocky people did not have a good night because, you know, the cocky people did not have a good night Saturday. at least as far as the UFC went. Cody Garbrandt and TJ Dillashaw. I thought Dillashaw would win by a 4th-round TKO, and it actually ended up being TJ won in a 2nd-round TKO. You know, I thought Cody would show some effects from his neck injury at a long layoff from that, but he was actually fast and quick as always. He almost put TJ Dillashaw out in the 1st round. I mean, he hammered him. He knocked him to the canvas. I mean, he almost put him out, but he was his normal self with the gestures and just being real cocky. You know, and TJ didn't back down. He caught Garbrandt, and he gave him no room. It was one small error Garbrandt made, and TJ was on him, and he finished that fight. So, I mean, he did what he needed to. Good for TJ. I mean, I think if they rematched, it could go differently. Or, you know, I don't know. It's pretty good. I mean, that whole triangle then with Dominic Cruz is good. And then, of course, after the fight, TJ Dillashaw, after regaining his title, he threw his new little monkey wrench in that. If something he's been talking about, he wants to go down and fight Mighty Mouse. And now Mighty Mouse will have nowhere to run if he does that. I think that would be a good fight. And then maybe Garbrandt and Cruz have a rematch. And then the winner can fight Dillashaw. Or, you know, Cruz and Dillashaw if Mighty Mouse doesn't want to challenge himself. I mean, either way, any of those fights are amazing. In the main event, of course, we had Michael Bisping. I thought he'd win by decision over George St. Pierre. You know, St. Pierre won via 3rd-round submission. You know, St. Pierre, for being off that many years, he actually looked better as far as he was aggressive. He attacked. He used his boxing a lot more. He didn't use his takedowns as much, but he used his takedowns to set up his boxing more. Where if you remember St. Pierre, before he retired, everything was to set up the takedown. And that's all he would do, lay on you, smother you, and that's it, win by decisions. But this time it looks like he used the takedown to set up his boxing and get in with his, you know, jab. He fought more like he did like the beginning of his career when St. Pierre was younger. You know, he did look pretty drained early, but definitely after he caught Bisping with a good shot, he came to life. And, you know, he was a closer. He finished. Bisping he looked more tired than usual. I mean, Bisping usually is a hard worker. And I thought it looked like he was trying to just have, you know, St. Pierre work and work and work. And then he was going to take advantage of him later. That looked kind of like what it was his game plan, but he just didn't look like he had much energy. And St. Pierre, I mean, when he hit him, he sensed that, and he just went all in, and that was the end of that. You know, it was a good card overall. It was fun. First time to me that I know of that 3 belts in the same card changed hands. I mean, usually you don't get 3, you know, title fights in one card, but much less all 3 changing hands. And I mean, all 3 of them had to be considered underdogs, with the evenest one being Bisping, St. Pierre. But anyway, you look at it first, St. Pierre, and I know Dominic Cruz is a big proponent of there's no such thing as ring rust, but there's still, you know, you got to take time to get back in it. For him to get back in it like that it was pretty amazing. You know, I can't wait the rest of the year in the UFC. There's some good fights left. I mean, Carlos Condon's coming back, and that ought to be exciting. So we'll have some good times with the UFC for the rest of the year, and hopefully they finish off with some great fights. So now we can go back into the less fun stuff to talk about. So Fusion GPS, you know, the company that made tons of money on the Trump dossier, they were also hired by Planned Parenthood. Remember when Planned Parenthood was discovered from Project Veritas that they were selling baby body parts? Well, Fusion GPS was the company that came out and smeared that, started the whole campaign. Oh, they were editing the videotapes. It's not real. It's not what we're doing, even though it was what they're doing. But again, the same criminals. It's like, it's almost a one-party system wherever you go. You know, it's just, it is what it is. You know, Planned Parenthood, I mean, just part of that same thing. Sad but true. You know, it's kind of like when Charles Rangel, who was on the Ways and Means Committee, and he was evading taxes. He didn't put down that he made tons of profit on a little property he had, you know, little resort area. Kind of like his buddy Robert De Niro. And then Rangel was on the committee investigating himself, and he said, I'm on the committee investigating me, and I see that I've done nothing wrong. Sad but true. They were talking on the news about the Paris Climate Accord today. Nah, we don't need to be in it. Sorry, I don't care if every other country's in it. No thanks. It's just not good business. We're paying for everybody. I'm Ben Shennerman, host of the Reality Check, and when we return for our last segment, we'll talk about Brian West, of course.
Face retirement with anticipation instead of apprehension. By hiring Arizona Retirement Company, clients have access to higher levels of expertise than they would typically receive from industry financial planners and corporate advisors. As a retirement consultant in Gilbert, Arizona Retirement Company allows clients to gain a deeper understanding and appreciation for their retirement like never before. Call 480-524-0508 or visit azretirementco.com for more information. Again, that's 480-524-0508 or visit azretirementco.com for more information.
I'm Francis Battaglia, president of Independent Talk 1100 KFNX, and we're expanding our lineup of local talk shows. We're looking for individuals, business owners, and professionals to host their own radio talk show. This would be a new weekly show that either you pay for or help get sponsors to fund your show. You would pick the topics, select guests, and take calls from the listening audience. There is no experience necessary, and we provide training. Call me at 602-277-1100, extension 1463, 602-277-1100, extension 1463.
Every day, millions of people move into middle age and beyond, and many experience age-related changes, with memory issues being the most noticeable. It may start with something small, like forgetting an appointment or why you walked into a room, but can lead to a much bigger issue down the road. Emerald Laboratories Memory Health is doctor-formulated and contains the breakthrough memory booster Cognizin, clinically proven to reduce cognitive inhibition. Luriva turmeric can also be found in this powerful formula, along with a number of targeted whole food antioxidants known for brain health. Emerald Laboratories Memory Health also contains methylated B12, which is important since research indicates that 25% of American seniors are deficient in B12, a known factor of cognitive decline, potentially leading to memory loss. Ask for Emerald Laboratories Memory Health at your local health food store today, or learn more about it at shopnaturalproducts.com. That's shopnaturalproducts.com.
You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to outer space. Please stand by.
Welcome back to the Reality Check. Ben Shennerman here with you for one more segment on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. Last segment, of course, we had our UFC 217 review. And that was an exciting card. You know, this weekend I noticed in the NFL there was a lot of fights, a lot of wild behavior. And I wonder if finally the players are realizing, and I'm sure the owner's sharing it to them, how much viewership is down in NFL. At one point, you know, before every year it was going up on every platform. I mean, it was just a money printing machine, the NFL. That's what it was. And now this year it's going down, down, down. And the losses as far as to last year, the viewership numbers are down. And yet, maybe the fights were because the owners were letting these people realize that as these go down, our money goes down, and guess what? Your pay is going down. So people were starting to get feisty this weekend. That's the one thing I can think of, because this is the first time in a while there were multiple fights. It's just crazy nonsense. Like the Tampa Bay Buccaneer game, I mean, man, there should have been a lot more suspensions on that. Jameis Winston poking a guy from behind, and then the receiver coming in, gosh, I can't even think of the name, comes in and just like chokes the guy. I mean, from behind. I mean, it almost probably like the Rand Paul thing. Holy cow, man. NFL out of control. Now, of course, We're going on 3 months and more still. Everybody knows Brian West, the NBC guy who watched us, who was right there in the surveillance video as some guy was spray painting statues. We're still waiting, Phoenix police. I know we've solved 2,000 other major crimes now. The only other thing that we know less about is the Las Vegas shooting. I mean, can we get some info on this? I'm just saying. Jeff Sessions, I'm tired of hearing he's a good guy. You're either on the side of justice or you're against it. So time for him to go. You know, he's not looking in the things we need to. It should be any crime, whether it's right or left, center, whatever. All crime needs to be looked into. Like I said, you're either on the side of a justice or against it. Remember, like things like SEAL Team 6. Can we get a look into the documents on that? What happened? Why did we send that many special ops guys on the slowest Chinook helicopter we have? It doesn't make sense. It's never been done before, to my knowledge. But somebody can educate me. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I do know. As far as the failures of, I don't know. We could talk about, like, we have the rise of ISIS as opposed. You have what Obama was doing and what Trump was doing. And it got much worse under Obama. Is it getting better under Trump? It's what we hear so far. I don't know. It's hard to tell. You never know what's true or what's not. That's the problem is we get so much news so fast. And the one thing is there's just more of the, like, onion to pick apart, I guess. I don't know. How is the three liberal heroes, Hillary Clinton, Chelsea Manning, and Bo Bergdahl, none of them are in jail. And two of them are never going to jail, I guess. Hillary's the only one we got left to go to jail. Shocking, I know. Alex Baldwin says he treated women in a sexist way. I mean, next thing you know, Ron Jeremy's going to come out and said he was sexist against women, too. Seriously? Alec Baldwin? Yeah, of course. I mean, it doesn't treat anybody like a decent human being. I'm sorry. It's the way it is. That was so annoying just when I found out that Bo Bergdahl wasn't going to jail. I mean, here's the guy. How many deaths is he responsible for? How many soldiers went out to look for this guy? I mean, just no jail time, really? I mean, there are people that have drunk drivers, which I don't want to make light of, but have gotten more jail time than this guy. I don't get it. Sometimes you don't get it. It makes no sense at all. I don't know. Gitmo, Obama said he was going to close it, right? Never closed it. Trump, we're not sure what he's doing with it. The anti-Russian people of the Democrats, they said that they would have the Russian reset button, right? Even though they were saying how bad they were, and that got nowhere. Under Obama, you had the fall of Yemen. Now we have Yemen back. The red line in Syria. They crossed that many times. Obama did nothing about it. I don't know if they've behaved better. It's been less in the news. I mean, the only thing I've heard about Syria in the past month is how they're going to join the Paris Climate Accord. Who cares? I mean, it's us paying for everything. Of course, every country in the world likes that because they want us to pay for everything. Who isn't down with that? When it comes to us paying for everything, everybody's lining up and they're all happy for it. Hollywood, out of control, obviously. We know about all those crimes. And like I said before, please stop sending them back to Phoenix. We don't want them. How about the outbreak of hepatitis in San Diego? Out of control. Where did that start from? I wonder. Sometimes, though, you look at people's behavior and you're almost surprised. No, you're not surprised. You're not surprised at all that most people don't have an STD the way they behave. I mean, you look at just Hollywood alone. I mean, how does almost everybody there not have an STD? Speaking of STDs, Ric Flair, he said he slept with 10,000 women. Him and Will Chamberlain, I guess. Although I think Will Chamberlain said it was more like 100,000. I don't know. How do they count that? I mean, do they have their own black book, or what's the deal with that? I don't know. The collapse of Libya. Remember that? That'd be some interesting to get some documents on that. There was Hillary Clinton making light as we bomb another country. It was funny. It's so weird when the bombs have a R on it, it's bad. When they have a D on it, oh no, it's good. You know, in general, that's what we should try to avoid, bombing other countries, right? We're all for that. I mean, but Hillary didn't remember even before when her own husband was bombing Serbia into oblivion, a country that couldn't even defend itself. And they thought that was great when they killed and destroyed bridges and people couldn't even, survive. I don't know. It's crazy. Healthcare, I mean, are we ever going to get that fixed? We were told if we like our plan, we can keep it. Now all of a sudden you hear this bogus stuff about all these people are signing up for Obamacare. Who really cares? I mean, it's just like most insurance today. It's just a card. It means nothing. I had a laugh. I heard a commercial the other day on the news was telling you, yeah, you can get this done medically because you've probably met your deductible. Who meets their deductibles anymore? They're like $10,000. What normal person has $10,000 to pay for medical bills? Not many, let me tell you. That's the state of what it is. Insurance used to actually be something you can rely on and be good. And now it's even a shell. It had problems before, but now it's even a shell of what it is yourself. You pay. You pay more for everything you do. They tell you pay this up front, then you pay something on the back end, and both were more than what you paid in the first place before when you used to have insurance. And then you have a deductible, and you have to meet your deductible, and your family's got to meet their deductible. So it's almost like collision on a car that's worthless. You get to the point of where you really have to be in a car accident every year and smash your car and get a total to almost get your money back for what you're paying extra in your insurance to get the collision. And that's almost the way health insurance has become. Really, almost everybody in your family has to get sick, have near-death experiences for you to make that deductible. And then, by the way, they'll pay the 80% at that point. At that point, you're probably all sick and half dead, and you're totally broke, so that's going to make you sick anyway. Being broke isn't good for your health, let me tell you. Another thing with Jeff Sessions, we have to go back to him every once in a while, because I just can't keep on talking about him in a straight line. It's just kind of annoying. The IRS, I mean, we know what they did. They targeted people. It was illegal. It was used as a political arm. And Jeff Sessions has done nothing about it. I mean, just like that parrot of James Comey. He said Hillary Clinton committed crimes. Jeff Sessions shown Lois Lerner committed crimes. So why aren't they charged? Stop telling me nobody's going to convict them. Charge them. If they don't get convicted, we're not going to be happy about it, but at least we could live with that. But the fact that you're not even charging these scum, it's pretty pathetic. It just shows you how soft. Jeff Sessions is almost like a retired baseball player who's on the last year of his 10-year, $200 million deal, and he's just sitting there collecting a paycheck. Smiling and stuff. Yep, I don't agree with that. Yep, that was bad, but not really doing anything. Sad. It's sad. It's sad that he needs to be fired. Thanks for listening to Reality Check with your host, Ben Shennerman. I'll be here with you next Tuesday night at 9 p.m. on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Have a great week.